You belong on every ground your feet grace, so don't ever feel out of place. Take up space and belong. This earth is your birthplace. So, episode 10 starts off with Nick and Hannah doing an engagement photo shoot. Um, when the photographer finishes taking their photos, she gives them individual folders, and I was kind of confused because I was like, if this is an engagement photo shoot, why do they have separate, you know, sets of photos? Like, why are their folders separate if it's their engagement photos? I don't know. Then it goes to Ramses and Marissa, and they're like talking in code about something, and I was trying to figure out what it was because at first I wasn't understanding what they were talking about. He said he was afraid something shifted, or we agreed to this or something like that when we were in the pods. Now it shifted, and she was like apologizing, like, I don't feel good, and I just don't want to be touched. So I'm putting two and two together, and they're talking about sex, and I guess she must have turned him down for sex, and now he's trying to make it seem like this is going to be, well, he's using this one instance and applying it to the rest of their relationship. Like, I need to know if this is something that I'm going to have to deal with. If so, it's going to be a big deal because sex means a lot to me. And she's basically scared because she feels like if something like this happens in the future and she's not able to have sex with him, he's going to either cheat and go find it for someone else or leave her. And I understand why she feels like that, because if it's such a big deal to you now, it's going to always be a big deal to you. And I want to know if you're going to be able to deal with this, because I'm not always going to want to have sex. Like, I don't understand. Do he expect her to have sex with him every day, every second of every day, anytime he feel like it? Because that's not life, and no woman is going to do that. We all have things like, we all have our moments when we don't feel like doing that. And even he may have his moments where he don't feel like doing that. Does that mean that the relationship is over? And if that's the case, did you just come on this show to have sex with somebody? If so, that's lame. Like, it was weird, like the way he was acting, and like even like him being affectionate toward her, and like, I'm still going to marry you. This doesn't mean that I don't want to marry you. We're still going to get married. I still feel good about, and like kissing on her and stuff. It made me feel like he was being manipulative, kind of guilting her into having sex with him when she don't want to. And I didn't like that. I don't know. I hate seeing that side of people. That like manipulative, I'm gonna say whatever it takes to get what I want. And I don't really care about how you feel in the moment. And that's how it came off to me. But who am I? Um Alex meets Tim's family. Um and they have a conversation, and his mom is basically kind of telling them about marriage and how things work, and y'all are not always going to get along, and stuff like that, just like preparing them for what is to come. And then they break off, and Tim has a conversation with his parents alone, and his mom is basically telling him, he was saying something about like, he's not affectionate, like he doesn't like to cuddle, and she likes to cuddle, and sometimes he don't want to be touched. And his mom is basically telling him like, when you're in a relationship, you have to be aware of what hurts your partner and what your partner needs, and you have to be willing to give it to them. You can't be stuck in your own ways. But I doubt that it's getting to Tim, because Tim is really stubborn. He's really stubborn. It's his way or the highway. If you don't do exactly what he expects you to do, he will throw you away. He will throw a temper tantrum like a kid. And it's really disappointing to see because I really thought he was a good person. Thought he was so sweet, so gentle, so patient, so kind, and he's none of those things unless it's on his term. Unless he feels good about the relationship, but in any moment where his he doesn't feel good about things, you're not having your he's not going to bend to your will. You're not having a say about how things happen. If it's not about me and what I want, I'm not budging. That's how he is. And I hate it so much. Ashley tells Tyler she doesn't hate him. He tries to make himself look like a good Samaritan, saying that the two women came to him asking for his sperm and he thought that that was his opportunity to do a good thing, and that's what happened. But if I'm not mistaken, on social media, it came out that he wasn't telling the exact truth and there was more to it and things were deeper than what he was making it seem. But I think Ashley still forgave him. So I guess that's all that matters. I don't know. Do I feel like Tim loves Ashley and that he wants to be with her? Yes, I do. But do I feel like it was wrong for him to keep that away from her? Absolutely. I kind of feel like he did everything right to earn her trust until he dropped that bomb on her, because he knew that if he earned her trust before he told her, the chances of them staying together after he told her were higher than if he went into that situation telling her what happened, which I feel like regardless Ashley was going to be down for him. And that's the thing that I really hate about men sometimes. They will lie and they will make decisions thinking that they know how you're going to respond to certain things, not even knowing that if you would have told me in the first place, I would have that was something that we could have gotten over. But because you lied, now I'm looking at you different. Now you're not the same person that you sold me on at first. And that is unfair to do that to somebody and think that you're supposed to be forgiven. It's unfair. Garrett and Taylor go to this like they're doing wedding planning, and so they're trying to figure out how to incorporate her grandparents' letters into their wedding, and they decide to kind of like have a station where people can write letters to them, giving them advice and stuff like that. And it's sweet. I think it's really nice that she is wanting to follow that tradition, and she said that they leave each other's letters throughout the day, and I think that's cute. I personally love letters more than cards, especially. I love handwritten letters that somebody sat down and wrote to me. That's something that I really love receiving as like a gift or whatever. Like you can literally just give me snacks, grocery store flowers, and letters, and I would be happy. Those are the only gifts that I really need. Also, like bedroom stuff, maybe pajamas, robe, slippers, socks, blankets, stuff like that, like comfort things. Like I'm not really a person who cares about getting gifts like that, but if I'm going to get gifts, I like those things because I use them a lot. I spend a lot of time in the bed because I have an illness and I have to rest a lot of the time. So like I love blankets and pillows and slippers and robes and bedroom things. And you get extra points if it's anime, if anime is on it. And I also really love snacks, and I love letters, and even better, I like plants. Like a plant, you could buy me a little plant, specifically a peace lily. Peace lily is my birth plant. I think it's a Libra plant or whatever, and I love them a lot. Even though all of the ones that I've ever had have died on me, but I love those. Anyways, it's not about me. Nick and Hannah go on an adventurous date. They like do you know those little indoor zip lining and stuff like that. They rock climbing and stuff like that. They did that and it looked like it was fun, and then they sat down and they had a conversation afterwards, and she starts grilling him about certain things that he hasn't done that he said he did in the past, like for instance reading. And she keeps making a joke that he doesn't read. Like, Hannah is evil. The reason why I feel like Hannah is so evil is because one minute she acts like she's so in love with Nick, and it seems like she builds him up just to tear him down. And it's repetitive. It happens over and over again, and that is messed up. Really messed up. Saying that he's a good guy and I love him just for you to berate him for not reading because you haven't seen him read since y'all got together. Y'all was only together for a couple of weeks. Chill out, bro. He's adjusting to being engaged. Get that man a break. Like, she be on him hard. I don't see how he deal with her. He tells her that she makes him feel like he's a level below her. And she basically said, and you are, nigga. That's basically what she told him. I feel like it's not fair. Well, things will be fair for you. Things will be fair for you when you earn my respect, Nick. I'll start treating you like a man when you become a man, Nick. Like, what is wrong with you? Like, she could have just been like, you know what? I apologize if I do make you feel like that. I'm not trying to make you feel like that, but it does frustrate me whenever you need my help with everything. There's a way to word things, right? It frustrates me when you need my help with everything. I'm not always able to do everything all the time. So I need you to do your part. Otherwise, I'm going to feel overworked in this relationship. There's a way to say things. You do not tell that man, I will treat you with respect when you learn how to do this, that, and the third. You do not berate him. You do not make him feel small. He said, all I want is to be treated fairly. All I want is for you to respect me. Well, you'll get respect when you're able to do this, that, and that. Why would you do that? You cannot convince me that you love somebody and then you tear them down every moment that you get. She does not love him. I don't see it. They need to break up. The fact that they're even going down the aisle is crazy to me. They are not compatible. They need to break up. She is a parasite. And he is lazy. He's a sloth. He doesn't want to do anything. He weaponizes his incompetence so he doesn't have to do anything. They both play a part in this. I'm not giving Nick excuses for not knowing things and not being able to do anything. But she does not have to be mean to him like that. It's unnecessary, bruh. It's messed up. It goes to Ramses and Marissa. They do some wedding planning and they she's like they're going through like what they want at the wedding and what they don't want. And they're agreeing on certain things and stuff like that. And they seem to be in a better space. They seem to be happy. She asks him if he has any doubts or whatever. He tells her no, he wants to marry her. Aside from the basic nerves that you would have if you were getting married, he has no doubts. He wants to marry her. And she tells him she doesn't want to feel needy, but sometimes she needs the reassurance. Until it happens, I'm going to need reassurance because I feel like deep down she knows that a lot of the issues that rose between them are things that he can't get past. But I think what happens is they have sex and Ramses forgets about his problems. They have sex, he's happy. They have sex, he can compromise. They have sex, he wants to get married. But when he can't have sex with her, he is worried about how the future is going to be and things are shifting and all of these things. Like, are you just here to have sex with her? Because that's weird. Tim comes over to Alex's place or their joint place or whatever to have a conversation with her about some things that he does not like that she did. And the three things that he brought up was her taking a nap for an hour when his parents were there, him cooking dinner for her family, and her not washing the dishes after he slaved over a hot grill for her family. And also her not texting him back. These are the things that Tim is mad at Alex about, to the point that he decides to end things with her, and he tells her he never wants to see her again. Tim is a child. When he does not get his way, he turns into a cranky little child. And it's my way or the highway. Oh, my parents drove all of those hours to come and meet you, and you had the audacity to take a nap for an hour. How dare you? My parents are the kings and queens. You never disrespect them like that. You should have been sitting and talking to them until you couldn't keep your eyes open no more. Like, nigga, what is you talking about? I slept for an hour. Alex could not have been me, because I would have dug in him. What are you talking about? You're just trying to find an excuse to break up. I kind of feel like Tim expects perfection. He wants his partner to be perfect, and he never has issues. I notice whenever they have an argument, he can never see his fault in things. He is always right and everybody else is wrong. And it's so crazy to me. You can't take accountability. You're tripping. You're really tripping over the fact that I fell asleep. Like I didn't work a job and I'm not tired. You think your parents are the only people who get tired, nigga? I'm tired too. Why can't I go to sleep? And then they having a conversation, and all she is doing is saying okay and like asking him questions, trying to get a better understanding of what his issues are. And every time she says something, he acts like she's yelling over him, like she's cutting him off and yelling, "When am I going to get a chance to talk now?" She's not cutting you off. She's really just asking you questions so she could get a better understanding of what your issues are. He is insane. He is never going to find nobody unless he finds a woman who will just do whatever it is that he wants to keep him. But I don't see that happen in this climate. I don't see that happening. I just feel like Tim has unrealistic expectations. And if you do something that he feels like is disrespectful, even if it's not really disrespectful, he is unforgiving. He will not forgive you. You cannot get away with making no little mistakes or doing nothing with him. And at first, Alex was so confused. She ain't even know what he was mad about. Like, and when he started talking to her about what it was, she was so confused. And I would have been the same way. Like, are you serious? You're mad at me for taking an hour nap? And oh my God, I slaved over a hot stove and I fed your family. I had to go to the UK and get berries so I can make their salad. And I had to go to Africa to get shea nuts or whatever to make this for them. And the least you could have do was wash the dishes, and you didn't wash the dishes. Chill out. You did not. That meal that you cooked, it was not that deep. And the fact that you're throwing that in her face makes me feel like you were not even genuine when you had that moment with her dad. That moment was touching. The same person that made her dad cry is not the same person that is being nitpicky over the fact that she fell asleep and she didn't wash some dishes one time. Tim is the type of person who will let things build up when they're mad at you, and then when you talk to them, they bringing up like all of the smallest things that you've done to pile it up to make it seem like you did something bad. The way that he ended things with her was trash. It was tasteless, it was disrespectful, and it was unnecessary. He does not deserve to be with somebody. He is not ready to get married because he's too stubborn. He's too stuck in his ways. He's too stubborn. It's my way or the highway. And nobody is going to go for that. Literally, nobody is going to go for that. It goes to Ashley and Tyler, and it seems like they've gotten over their hump. All of a sudden, they're happy. They're getting ready for the little get together that the couples have or whatever. On the way to walking into the place, one of Garrett's exes must have reached out to him on social media, and he told Taylor that he liked the comment and left it at that while they were on their way. And she was like questioning him about it to kind of get the specifics of what happened. Like, all you did was like it. That's all you did. And but at the same time, she's telling him this isn't a good time to talk about it because, you know, they're going to the party. And so she says she's mad at him. He said he hates that she's mad, and but she looks good. She tells him to shut up. They go to the party. They're enjoying themselves until they're sitting down talking to Ashley and Tyler, and Garrett mistakenly is talking to them and tells Tyler that he responded to the ex and told the ex that I'm engaged. We don't reach out to me no more. We shouldn't be talking. I'm engaged to somebody and I'm getting married, whatever. And in the midst of him talking, Taylor is like, "What? That's not what you told me. You said you told me that you liked their DM and you left it at that. You left them on red." He's like, "No, I told you I responded." She's like, "No, you told me you liked it." And he did tell her he liked it. He didn't say that he responded to her. He said he just liked it and left it alone. But he said he can't remember. Like, I don't think that Garrett was lying. I don't think that he was necessarily like trying to lie to her to get over on her or nothing like that. I feel like he was trying to, how can I put it? I feel like he was trying to keep things under control so she wouldn't get mad at him, because he really don't like when she's mad at him. And I feel like he was doing damage control before he did the damage, if that makes sense. And then in the midst of talking to Tyler and Ashley, he accidentally tells the whole truth, which is crazy, and says that he forgets. And do I feel like he forgot? He probably did. He probably did forgot exactly what he said or whatever, because he was too busy trying to convince her not to be mad at him. You could tell it really bothers him when she's mad, when she's upset. It gets to him. And I understand where she's coming from, though. You told me that you just like this. Now you're saying that you responded. And not only are you saying it, you're saying it in front of people, which with women, it's a difference when you embarrass us in public. It's a difference when you embarrass us in public and when you do it behind closed doors. Behind closed doors, I might can get over you embarrassing me, but in public, like, how dare you say that in front of these people? Now you make me look crazy. I'm not particularly like that. Like, I don't care. Embarrassment is embarrassment. Regardless of where you did it, you embarrassed me. And I don't go for that. But I ain't gonna say I don't go for that, because I feel like I would have been able to tell if he actually did make a mistake or if he was being sneaky. But because she got cheated on her in her past, she's insecure about it. So that's why she was making a big deal about it, because it's like, I want to see her phone, but at the same time, I don't want to have to ask you to see her phone, because I'm trying to heal and grow from what happened to me. And now you put me in a position to where those insecurities are coming back. I'm triggered and I don't really know how to respond to this. And I feel like that's how she was reacting. And I feel like he didn't know how to respond to her the way she was reacting. Because when you do an experiment like this and you're with somebody that you don't really know, you're getting to know them, you're learning them, the way that they react to things matter to you. The way that they react to things can really affect you, because you don't really know how to rein them back in, because you don't know them well enough. So y'all are still in this experiment. I don't want you to be mad at me at all, so I'm gonna do damage control before the damage comes. Then he stupidly said it. I feel like if he would have expanded when they were alone, it wouldn't been as bad as what he did it in front of Ashley and Tyler. Like Ashley said, he forgot who he was around, and he told the truth by accident. I feel like that's exactly what happened. But I don't feel like he maliciously like was trying to keep it from her, and he was never going to tell her what happened or whatever. Because I feel like if that was the case, he wouldn't have talked about it again. He would have just had a grand old time with her, hoping that she forgot about what they talked about when they first got there. So I don't feel like she should like end things over that situation. So Taylor steps away and Ashley tries to help her out, gets her together, whatever. Katie, a girl that Nick dated for 3 days in the pod, shows up to the party. Apparently, she's friends with Hannah, and they talk about Nick all. But she tells Hannah that Nick is cute. She tells Monica that Nick is cute. Then she has a conversation with Nick, and they kind of like are flirting at first, but then it goes from being kind of flirty to like her telling him why she didn't choose him, why she didn't want to continue to date him. And I feel like she gave him really good advice, and I feel like she spoke life into him, and it was, you could tell that Nick needed it because of the way that he responded to what she said, the way that he reeled himself back in, because he was gonna get himself in some trouble with all that flirting and stuff, telling her that he really liked her and acting like, he still had feelings for her and stuff. But when she started telling him like why she didn't like him, it kind of made him realize his fault in a way that Hannah doesn't. Hannah beats him up. The way that Katie spoke to him about his faults was how you're supposed to speak to a man about his faults. And not just a man, a person. The way that Hannah beats Nick down is not healthy. That is not how you tell a person how you feel about something. The way that Katie spoke to him, that's how you do it. And you could tell that he received it well, because he reeled himself back in. And he was like taking in what she was saying. You could tell he was thinking about it. You could see his brain working. It actually works. You could see it. He be blocking Hannah out because the way she talked to him. And she need to stop doing that. While they're talking, Hannah talks to Ashley about her and Nick's sex life. She's basically saying he's not satisfied. He doesn't eat pussy. He's scared of the pussy. He doesn't eat pussy. Like, he's like an 18-year-old. He's getting better at it, but there's still a lot that Hannah does not like him. And it's so weird to me, because why are you having sex with him? And then like telling people these things, but then also saying that you love him. It's like she wants to humiliate him or something. I don't know. It's weird to me. The stuff that she says, the way she acts, the lies, because she be lying. That girl be lying. Lies. You know you're not okay with the bad sex. If you were okay, and if Nick's sex was a lot better than it was, Hannah would overlook a lot of the things that he did. But him being the way that he is, and also not having good sex with her, it matters. It affects the way she sees him. That's why she treats and talks to him like that. But best believe if Nikki D was putting it down in the bedroom, Hannah would have less complaints. She would. I could just tell by the way she was talking about their sex life. Nick, oh, okay, I already said the Nick and Katie part. Okay, so at the end of this episode, Taylor confronts Garrett again about lying. They're sitting there talking about the situation and they're going through it, and she's saying that the details matter. He's saying that the facts matter, and she's saying that details and facts are the same things. And he's like, it's just semantics. And she's like, to you. But to me, it's not just semantics. They are different. And she is correct. With women, the details matter. They matter. If you tell us one thing 1 minute and go and change it the next, now we thinking about all of the things that you have told us, and we're trying to figure out if you were lying, and then should we trust you? Because if you lied about this one thing, maybe you lied about that thing that you told me that day, and all of these things. Like, our brains get to working overtime trying to figure out if we could trust you. And I do feel like he should have told her everything from the beginning. I think he held back because he didn't want her to be mad. Plus, they were about to go in the party, so he didn't want to get deep into it. I feel like, do I think that he would have kept it from her if he had never said it in front of Tyler and Ashley? I kind of feel like Garrett is the type of person, he would have eventually told her what happened. I mean, the longer he took, the worse it would have been, but I do feel like he would have told her at some point what happened. How long it was going to take him, I don't know. And I'm not trying to excuse what he did. What he did was wrong. He should have just told her the truth and been done with it. Like, now she is going to be analyzing everything he says and does from here on out, because he triggered her. Not saying that he's responsible for her triggers. He's not. But the fact remains that he triggered her. Her insecurities have resurfaced. And he didn't do a good job pacifying her feelings. Episode 10 ended with like her crying and talking about, you're supposed to meet my parents tomorrow. I told you I need to be at 200% when we get ready to meet my parents. And now we have to deal with this. And he's trying to console her or whatever. But I hope they're able to work things out because I really like them together. I do think that Garrett is a good guy, but he's a man. They do things. Like, some of them are really good people, but I kind of feel like at their core, they're the same. They're the same. Different in a lot of ways, but at the core, the same. But let me know what y'all think about this episode. Do you feel like Garrett lied to her to Taylor on purpose, or do you feel like he really made a mistake about how he presented things to her at first? Also, how do y'all feel about the Hannah, Nick, and Katie situation? Do y'all think that if Hannah spoke to Nick the way that Katie did, that she would get different results? Or do y'all think that Nick just isn't ready for marriage and doesn't matter how you speak to him, he's not gonna get it. Like, let me know what y'all think about that specific thing, because I really want to know. Also, what do y'all think about the Ramses and Marissa thing, where him telling her that sex is important and him making a big deal about the fact that she didn't have sex with him when she wasn't feeling well? She was on her period, so that meant he wanted to have period sex. And this is not me judging nobody who wants to have period sex. That's y'all business. I'm not doing it. Because there's a thing called blood magic, sex magic, okay? And I'm not doing that. But the fact that he wanted her to please him while her period was on is crazy. And him making it a big deal, trying to make it seem like, oh, this could be an issue that arises later on in our lives. And it could be. And what does that mean? Does that mean that you're going to break up with me if it happens more than once? Like, what does that mean? He is coming off like a sex addict to me. Sex is, I'm not saying that sex shouldn't be important, but sex is so important to him that he's willing to ruin a great connection, a great relationship because of some sex. Like, he literally was making a big deal about using condoms when he was the one who said he didn't want to have kids that early. Like, I'm gonna need these men to get it together, and not just them, the women too. But like I said, let me know what y'all think about this review, and let me know what y'all think about the episode. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see y'all in the next video. Bye. Before you go, check out my website at srgrahamwrites.org and subscribe to my mailing list to get exclusive updates on works in progress, other news, and blog posts. Thank you.